The first step in recovery is admitting you have a problem.
Don't worry about it at all. Not a problem.
Boy, do I have a problem. So I went a little crazy over the last month because we had Book Outlet's fiction sale where books were, I think, $5.99 or less. And then I was enticed to rejoin Book of the Month because they were like, here, have a book for $5. And I also went crazy on Pango because I was looking for books and I just found so many that had such good deals. So I'm going to take you through my haul and show you what I got. First up, we will go through Book of the Month because I got 2 books from there, and from what I'm seeing, this seems to be the 2 books that everybody got. So first was Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. This is said to be a cross between Addie LaRue and This Is How You Meet, or This Is How You Lose a Time War. So far, this is good. I'm only a little ways in, but I have been really, really enjoying this book. The second one that I got seems to be the other one everybody seems to have gotten to, which is Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. I have her other one, Ready or Not, on my bookshelf, also unread, but they both seem like really cute books, and I was like, yeah, I want to get this one too. Like I said, this is the first step in admitting that you have a problem. Next up is one Soul Off that I got at the store because I saw the sprayed edges and I couldn't say no. I should have, but I couldn't. And this is Fable for the End of the World, which I have heard this is similar to the Hunger Games, but you go into debt and then you can put in to basically fight to the death to have no debt. And all I can say is don't give this to the government and give them any ideas. But look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, and but look at how beautiful is this. I could not let this go. I had to find this edition, even though I have never read anything by Ava Reed. Next, now my Book Outlet haul. I wasn't going to get anything. I was going to be good. I always say that. It's never true. And it all started with, wait for it, this. This is where it started. I lie to myself a lot. I lie to myself when I say I'm not going to buy books. I lie to myself when I say I'm never going to read something. You'll come to know this. But then we get into the sale where everything was super cheap. So I'm going through Taylor Jenkins Reid's backlist, as you can see. She's my favorite. Evelyn Hugo, Infinity Star Reid, Forever and Ever and Ever. So this is Forever Interrupted. Then I moved into Tried and True Romance. So I have Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry. Hopefully I said that right. I heard this is a suspense romance, and I've just started to get into that kind of romance. So I've kind of phased out of my thriller genre love for now. I have a whole bunch of thrillers I haven't read, but with everything going on in the world and in my life, I'm like, I just need fluffy. So this kind of balances that. I also got Mistakes We Never Made by Hannah Brown. This one just sounded really good. I've been wanting to get into Annabelle Monaghan, so I got Nora Goes Off Script. I've heard really good things about this book, so I thought that would be a fun one to read. I decided these 2 were on there. Obviously, I do not have a problem with paperback versus hardback. I'll get whatever. These 2 were on there. The third one was not. And I have Six of Crows on my Kindle. But I have heard that it's better to start with this, then go into Six of Crows because of the world building. So I got Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm. Hopefully I like these. Just see what happens. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, you'll see them on Pango or in a free little library near you. So I think that was all of the book outlet haul, which, except for one other book, but it wasn't a fiction book, it's something about writing. So that was all of book outlet. Then, of course, another just one-off from the store. I went to Barnes & Noble because Rebel Witch came out. I literally just last month read Crimson Moth, or what do we call it? We call it Heartless Hunter here. Whatever. But I got Rebel Witch. Haven't read it yet. My plan was to read it this month. I'm a mood reader. That probably won't happen. Hopefully soon, though. That leads into the insanity that was Pango. I bought a lot on Pango. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books off of Pango in the last month. No, 14. 14. I'm staring at another one. 14. First up, The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Now, I had this in paperback from a book outlet haul that I got in December. Because in December, I got myself this one for like Christmas to myself. And I was like, oh, yeah, that sounds great. Not realizing it was a second duology. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I got the other duology from Book Outlet. And one was paperback and one was hardback. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Until someone on BookTube showed me that the hardbacks look like that. So I had to have the hardbacks. Had to, because, oh my gosh, this isn't a special edition or anything. I think that's amazing. So I hunted it down, and then I took my paperback edition, did some really cool sprayed edges. I'll insert that here. And then I have it listed on Pango because it's brand new, but I wanted to practice sprayed edges because I'm also going to do that on these, and listed it. You get to the Emily Henry books. I have only read Funny Story. I read that last year. I got the hardback, and I have decided I wanted to read her backlist. And from Book Outlet again, I was able to get, what one was it? Book Lovers, which I do have on my bookshelf. So I decided, well, while I'm on Pango and I'm making an order, I might as well see what they have. So I have Beach Read, People We Meet on Vacation, and Happy Place. And again, my book bestie, my bestie and everything, Sarah, has already read all of them on audiobook, and she loves them all. And I'm just like, I need to dive into them. I need to read them. So I decided I was going to get them all, especially because her new one is coming out, I think, next month. And heaven knows I'll be rushing out to get that as well. So I want to start making a dent in these. Well then, as we know, this week, as of when I'm filming this, so yesterday, the new Hunger Games book dropped featuring Haymitch, which I had already pre-ordered the audiobook, and I'm going to get the actual book soon. But I decided, because I've only ever had them on ebook ages and ages and ages ago when they first came out, and I've read them several times, I decided I wanted to own them. And I've never owned this Ballad of Songbird and Snakes. I just read that from the library. So I got all of these from one Pango seller, and I got this one from a separate Pango seller because they didn't have the hardback of this, and I wanted them all hardback so I can reread these. I'm going to be entering my reread era. So next up, I just found Sarah Adams, and I just read When in Rome this past week, and It was so cute. I ordered from one of the Panko sellers. Practice makes perfect. And in fabulous condition, so much cheaper than buying it new. And then this week, after finishing the book, I immediately ran and got Beg, Borrow, or Steal because I need them all. So I cannot wait to get into these. And we're down to the last few books. And to another thing that you should never say never to is I always swore I would never read a romance novel that was this thick. Because why? Why is it this big? But here we are. I've heard good things. Never say never. So I got Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. You better be a good book. Lauren, don't let me down, please. Now this is one so many people talk about. And the new one apparently just dropped this week. Who knew? But I got Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowles. I just read her other new one that's a standalone last month, All the Missing Pieces, that I really liked, minus Magic Nipples. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. But this, everybody says it's so good that I'm really excited to read it. So I picked that up. So on to my last two. Everybody talks about Frederick Bachman, but everybody reads Beartown. I don't know how I feel about that one. I'm not sure I want to read that. Or they talk about a man called Ove. And I'm not sure how I feel about that either. But I saw this one, Anxious People, and this sounded really interesting. So I decided I'll give him a try and go for this book. And then if I like this book, even if I don't, I like to give an author 2 tries, then I will try either Beartown or A Man Called Ove. Let me know down below which one, if after this, you would choose between those two. But this one sounded really good, so I picked this up. And the last one from Pango, called The Friendship Breakup by Annie Catherine. And it's about a single mom, and all her friend group has left her, and she's there left to deal with like figuring out, well, why don't I have any friends? Like, why is no one talking to me? And she dives into her past and kind of gets really reflective, and it speaks to the therapist in me that I'm like, that sounds really good. We have 2 more books left in this book haul, and these 2 are really exciting to me because I won them from this author. And the first one in this was my last 5-star read of 2024. This book is a compendium of short stories he has written, and it just speaks to things like, if you like 1984, Animal Farm, things like that. It's kind of along those lines, but also speaks to where we are as a nation in the U.S. right now. And it's called The Crumbling of a Nation and Other Stories, and it's by Ryan David Ginsburg. I got it on my Kindle at first, and I read it, and he was having a contest on Instagram, and I was one of the people who won. I'm so excited, so now it's signed, but I can't wait to read it again. There's so many good stories in here. But also, I got his other novel, it was Just Another Day in America, which is poems and stories, so I can't wait to read this. And he has a book that he's working on now called In the Algorithm We Trust, and I'm really excited to read that. But there is my book haul. Surprise, suckers! And by suckers, I mean me, because who bought more books? Me! And I am here to share it with you. So, did I order from Pango again? Yes, I did. Do I regret it? A little, but not that much. So, I've got a few more coming, but this is what came today. 1. This is the first book I ever read as a kid. First book I ever read that like by myself, that my grandma bought me. Call me nostalgic, but I had to get it. I was really excited to get my hands on this. Okay. Second thing, before I take it out, how cute is this packaging? This is from a little seller in, where is this? Connecticut. I read one Sarah Adams book and it was amazing. So I decided I wanted to find her backlist, and she had the majority of them. Oh my gosh, they're each individually, oh my gosh. They're individually wrapped, I'll show you. But I'm a sucker for stickers, so I collect stickers and then use them for my Kindle and book journal. This will probably go in my book journal. This one's perfect. I don't know how she knew, but she knew. But how cute is this? And then she's got, that's so awesome. And it's just old newspaper. But how awesome is that? I love that. 5 stars. 5 stars. This wrapping too, it reminds me of like in high school when you would fold the notes to pass them. I am old, before texting. But it looks like when you tucked it in and then it had the little tab and you'd pull it out. So I got the cheat sheet and the rule book. And then I've got the temporary roomie and off limits rule. This one actually sounded really, really good. And then I've got the enemy, and the one that goes with the enemy is coming later in a different package. But I'm really excited. I got some really cute books. This package just made my day. When I cut it open, I was like, no, we're gonna start filming now, because I was just gonna show when it all came, but no. So stay tuned for future me with more books. But then that's it. Until, okay, this is it. The last of the book haul. I swear to God. Okay, so let me show you the very last of what I got from Pango. And what I found one indie book that I'm really excited about. So the last of what I received from Pango. So I got the last Sarah Adams book I needed called The Match. I got Icebreaker because I live in book FOMO. I was super curious. Watch me hate it or watch me absolutely love it. There will be no in between. And then I got They Both Die at the End, which I believe this is really an older book, but it just sounded so interesting. Then I got one last R.L. Stine book. This one is from 1990, The Beach Party. Also, if you can see, if you look really close, look how cheap books were in the 90s. Man, those were the days. Because the other R.L. Stine book I have, this one was $2.95. And then 3 years later, this one was $3.25. And then the indie book I got that I'm so excited, it's a cowboy romance, or should I say cowgirl romance. It is a sapphic cowgirl romance called Prize Money. I saw someone doing like a cowboy romance taste test, so to speak, and they mentioned this, and I was like, I've never heard of this. I must own it. And so I found it, and it was only $10. It sounds really good. I'm excited for this. Okay, now I swear that is all the books.